We now request Mr. Dinesh Jasti to share his valuable thoughts.
Hi guys, how are you today? Cool. Looks like we are racing against time, and as I already promised, I'll do my bit in terms of contributing to sticking to the hard stop. So I probably time it for 10 minutes, whatever I'm going to talk about. So I just put together a few slides, nothing fancy, nothing confusing, just some visuals. That's just to make sure that the presentation is interesting when you're not able to tolerate my speech. Okay. So, do anyone of you know this character? No. Nasruddin, right? So, it so happened that people of this town wanted Nasruddin to talk or give a speech about a certain topic. Nasruddin, being completely adverse to this, he said, he stood up like this, just like me, and said, look, do you guys know what I'm going to talk about? And everyone said no. Then Nasruddin, being what he said, if you guys don't know what I'm talking, I'm going to walk out, right? So then the whole crowd went and brought him back, right? So this time Nasruddin said, do you guys know what I'm going to talk about? They said yes. Nasruddin said, if you guys know everything, why should I even talk to you? Right? So he mentioned it. And then finally this time the people were smarter, right? So Nasruddin again asked, do you guys know what I'm going to talk about? Half of us know what you're going to say, and half of us know, we do not know. And then what did Nasruddin say? Right. But you guys are smarter, right? You have people there to stop me from running away, right? Anyway, next slide please. So, I'm going to be apologizing because I clearly did not prepare in terms of the whole topic of Focus India or the whole international business. Because I'm fairly confident that that's what you've been spending time on over the last 2 years, or maybe 1.5 years, and the next 1 year, right? So, and it's not right on my part to talk about international business, which probably has got nothing to do with that, right? So, what did I decide? I decided that I'm going to share with you a couple of things that I think is going to be important for all of you guys as you take on the role of managers as time goes by, right? So, I'm sure this is something that you've been hearing. Your professors have been talking. Your mom, dad, your brother, everyone's talking about it. You read it in the newspapers. But I think I'm just trying to reiterate here in terms of why they are important or what we need to know about, right? First, next please. So again, going back to what Arun mentioned about, right? This is about trying to be extremely focused, right? So for the first 5 years of a career, my suggestion is just focus on the kind of skill sets you are acquiring. Right? Typically, after 1 year, you try and start comparing with your friends. You know what? That guy is getting 10,000 bucks more, right? Or he gets a cushy job, right? Or he gets to travel on first class already, right? So don't get into this whole. Extremely sorry about this. So don't worry about all these comparisons, right? So be sure what you want to major in, what kind of skill sets you like. For example, if you're a finance major and you want to invest in treasury management, right? So make sure that you beat the heck out of what there is to learn in treasury management or HR or whatever is the process that you want to pick up, right? So the idea is focus extremely on the skill sets that you're picking in the first 4 to 5 years, right? Next please. Information dealers, right? So we'll do a quick exercise, okay? So I want all of you who have checked their emails or updated their LinkedIn status in the last 1 hour to stand up. No? Good, you better off. Last 3 hours, stand up. Right. Last 6 hours, keep standing. The guys who keep standing, everyone keep standing. Last 6 hours. Last 12 hours? Right? Alright, thank you. Thank you. By the way, the idea was to make sure you were not sleeping, okay? So what I wanted to really tell you is that day in and day out we are being bombarded with information, right? The moment you get onto the internet, you have multiple sources of information. People are forwarding you emails, newspapers are being thrown at you, you come to college, you learn so many things, experts like me come and give some gyan, right? So you need to be processing all this information, right? At the same time, what my request is, please be extremely what do you call, diligent about the kind of information you consume. Let's assume you're reading an article. Make sure it's of credible source, right? So if it's about international business that you want to talk about, make sure you're getting the data or the information from the best journal that is out there, right? Typically on the internet you have a lot of junk floating around or reposts, reforwards. Try and be very sure of the kind of content you're reading. So if it's something on world economics, right? Make sure you're reading The Economist and not anything else, right? And the other thing is, with so much of information that's all around us, we have limited attention span, right? So if you say that information is in the numerator and attention span is the denominator, and if numerator is increasing, what is happening, right? Fundamentally, the attention that you are having on per piece of information is actually decreasing, right? Which is what is happening nowadays, right? So which will end up making you extremely shallow in terms of having knowledge on any product or any concept. So pick up any concept, invest time, go in depth, right? Make sure you are a master of subject. So don't be the skimmer or skimmer of information, right? Next please. Right, so can anyone read that piece there? So okay, I should probably say, can you read that phrase that's above the email ID? Right? So it says hot chick 19. Okay. So this is the email, what do you call, name of some person who's actually active in an email group, right? And he is actually talking about some very serious topic of goods or services, something like that, right? He probably doesn't know that that's his email alias, like hot chick 19, right? The point I'm trying to make here is, you need to be extremely cautious of the digital footprint that you're leaving, right? You're posting in numerous chat rooms, in LinkedIn profiles, in your Yahoo groups, and you tend to be extremely careless, right? At some point of time. And you never know what's happening to these digital footprints, and they'll all come back to haunt you at some point of time. Like personal lives and business lives are blurring, right? In your Facebook account, you're adding your professional contacts, you're adding your personal contacts, and you're exposing yourself to multiple angles, right? And we still don't know how to deal with this, right? So my advice to you is rather be cautious, and if you need to be active in the digital world, make sure you have your own personal profile and have a professional profile, right? It's always safe, right? Next please. Anyway, so this spoiled my show. So the idea of having a blank slide here was that we need to be taking breaks once in a while, right? So while we are heavily investing in terms of making a career and do good for ourselves, once in a while it's always nice to take a break, see where we are doing, what are we doing, why are we doing, is this something that I enjoy, do I really want to pursue this or not, right? That was the idea of the blank slide. Next. Yeah. Any idea what this could be? Networking, exactly. So networking is going to be the order of the day, guys. So networking has mattered and will continue to matter, right? So invest in your colleagues. Make sure you as an individual are known to your circle, right? And networking doesn't mean just increasing your LinkedIn accounts, right? Bombarding unknown people and saying, please accept, right? It's not about that, right? It's about making sure that with whomever you worked or interacted, that person or that individual remembers you for the kind of hard work and for the kind of contribution you have done. Okay? Next please. Alright. So this is really important. So I presume this room has 200 people capacity? 200? Can I have 8 of you stand up please? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This room is India, right? These 8 people constitute what is called as 4% of the taxpayers in India, right? You must be knowing this, but in India, just about 4% actually are in a position to pay taxes, right? And if I take the tax paying ability as a proxy for human well-being, it shows that 96% are still struggling, right? So as somebody who's off the curve and who is ahead, right, in terms of this whole economic well-being, it's our duty to ensure that we chip in for the other 96%, right? How can we do it? I'm not saying don't do jobs, go home and join an NGO. All I'm saying is If you think there is something injustice happening, write a letter to the newspaper. If you think you want to teach your maid servant about basic arithmetic, invest that amount of time. If you think Greenpeace is active and it is something that you want to be involved in, spend that time, right? Over the next 30 years when you are busy chasing your corporate life, let's pause and look at the other 96% of the population also, right? Thank you. Alright, so this is the final piece. Again, I think I'm making good time here. So can everyone read the cartoon there? Okay, let me read it out. Okay, so the first bubble says you need to put more passion into your work, right? And this guy is saying, but my job is boring. And the same guy replies, true, but your boredom lacks passion, right? So it's a nice joke, but it's a very profound question, you know, like as we are busy chasing our careers, you know, try and pause and think what are the couple of things that really make you happy, right? So it could not be extremely paying in the beginning, right? Or it may not be the most sexiest thing that you can do amidst your peer group, right? But if you identify something that you truly love, please latch on to it and start doing, right? And as Arun rightly said, whatever that 3 idiots thing is, right? Everything else will follow. And for the others who are yet to find out their real passion, keep trying while you are at it, while you are at your regular job. All right. One slide for summary. Next, please. So it's a long career. Be discerning about the information you consume. Be extra careful about what your digital footprint is. Take a break once in a while. It's okay. It's necessary. Networks do matter. Think about the other 96%. It's our fiduciary duty, and do what you like at the end of it. Right? One last slide. Finally, right? I want you to adopt this. Right? Just think about it. Right? Resolve yourself, right? I will not let this day pass without doing something to make my dreams come true, right? And the emphasis is mine, right? It's your right. It's not what your parents say. It's not what you read in the newspaper. It's not what the government says, right? It's what your dreams say. All right? Thank you. Thank you all for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for your valuable thoughts. As Mr. Dinesh Jasti has to leave, I request Mathu sir to please kindly present him a memento. I request Mathu sir to also kindly present a memento to Mr. Arun Rao. Now I request Mr. Ramesh